Whether you're completely new to investing or an elite cryptocurrency user, the Crypto Investor Toolkit provides a one-stop shop 5-day training launchpad for beginners, a curated top 40 altcoin list, and meticulous Bitcoin price prediction analysis. While our 5-day skill builder provides a rapid route to teaching you crypto skills that you can use for the rest of your life, the other half of this course provides an adaptive strategy for today's market. In this course, we focus on an advanced crypto investing approach designed to maximize opportunity, especially for those aiming to do more than just buy and hold safer, more expensive assets like Bitcoin or Ethereum. We're essentially doing a crazy experiment of training rookie crypto investors who don't have much free time to do a power move with altcoins on their first Bitcoin bull run. However, some altcoins are riskier, but can offer serious upside when timed with strategy. That's why we guide you through 4 key phases to help you build up the skills, structure, and confidence to handle those kinds of plays responsibly. First, you need quick training of the fundamentals. Second, since you don't have time to spend hundreds of hours researching thousands of coins, you need to know which ones are trending that still have massive upside potential. Third, you need the basic technical skills to reach the other 85% of assets out there, which are on other exchanges that are competitors to Coinbase. And fourth, as an investor, you need to know the timing and strength of the market, otherwise you're gonna get destroyed. With our advanced higher quality Bitcoin price prediction analysis and tools, you'll have more confidence in identifying the safest window to be an investor within Bitcoin's 48-month cycle before this next Bitcoin bubble bursts. You see, if you're able to track how healthy Bitcoin is, you can then have a finger on the pulse of how healthy the entire crypto market is. By understanding that Bitcoin is essentially the foundation of the cryptocurrency ecosystem, this helps you manage your risk level and helps you know when to be holding assets with greater volatility. You see, new investors just don't have a chance of making 500% returns buying safer assets like Bitcoin or Ethereum right now because it's just too late into the bull run. For example, let's use an analogy to illustrate, okay? Consider the 4-year Bitcoin cycle to the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Imagine you've been living under a rock and you haven't seen the movies. You start watching them, but your girlfriend refuses to watch them with you. Years go by, and eventually the 3rd film wins 3 Oscars, gains popularity, and suddenly she wants to see the movie, but just wants you to skip to the end of the 3rd film to see the big climactic battle scene at the end. This is the window investors are looking for to get into higher risk, higher reward assets, and it's the altcoin's turn to rise with Bitcoin. For example, in the last Bitcoin bull run in December of 2020, when Bitcoin reached its previous all-time high after the Bitcoin halving date, it once again, for the 3rd cycle in a row, rapidly increased in price. At the same time, with a rising tide, all ships rise, and alternative coins like BNB had remarkable gains, jumping from $40 to $700 in just 5 months. But there's another reason behind this massive growth. These alternative coins function like computer operating systems with applications running on them. BNB started trending not only because it was launched by a large exchange, but also because it offered a platform capable of handling high-speed transactions at low costs, and it supported a surge of new apps that recently became popular. It's similar to the launch of a gaming console like the Sony PlayStation. The console might not attract that much attention until a wave of exciting games is released simultaneously, boosting its usage and popularity. This is the kind of stuff you need to know about. You see, every 4 years, there's a new narrative of what's trending. You need to know what the hottest layer 1s are, what are the best protocols running on them, what are the new wallets, which ones suck, and whether you're a beginner or an experienced crypto OG, you need to understand that this bull run is a different level. This is the first time layer 2s are going to be adopted by mainstream users. You need to know what they are and how to use them, and you shouldn't have to be a computer geek to figure it out. The problem is there's just no one-stop shop video course that's teaching all this stuff quick and to the point, in the right order, and at the right time for people. This course was made for 4 kinds of people. People that are career-driven with very limited time, rookies that want to be trained within 5 days, experienced crypto users who may have lost money in the 2021 Bitcoin bull run, and professionals that just want quick access to our altcoin list and Bitcoin price predictions. My name's Joel Smith. I'm a filmmaker, and over the past 20 years, I've worked with some of the biggest companies to use visual storytelling to take complex subjects and break them down into videos that are easy to understand. Whether it's making videos for Activision explaining why they spent millions of dollars making a 10K 190-degree screen with 24 projectors, turning Call of Duty into a real-life amusement park, or explaining how Nordis uses organ-on-chip technology to grow human organs in the International Space Station for cancer research. Either way, I'm taking gigantic amounts of complex data and breaking it down in a way that's short, sweet, and digestible so you can get the information you need quickly. When I first got into Bitcoin in 2017, I bought it at 6,000 bucks, got lucky, and sold it at the absolute top at $19,300. I had never invested money into anything before and didn't know it was possible to make so much money doing absolutely nothing in such a short amount of time. I became obsessed with trying to understand what caused its volatility and relentlessly studied the charts. A year later in 2018, I got lucky again and bought the bottom at $3,700. I bought the bottom once again at 16,600 bucks. I've done so many experiments in cryptocurrencies you wouldn't believe. I've lost a lot of money and I don't want you to make the same mistakes, but I've also made some money. Several wise men in history have said, why learn from your own mistakes when you can learn from others? What if someone taught you how to be a crypto veteran the first time you got into cryptocurrency? That would have been a godsend to me had something like that existed when I first got into this stuff. But I searched the entire internet and the only thing that exists is overwhelming 80-hour-long courses, thousands of randomly posted YouTube tutorials, and an overload of scattered information. You see, YouTubers actually get rewarded by YouTube's algorithm by uploading hundreds of longer format videos, but this results in more of your time lost. My goal is to try to communicate to you the most powerful message in the most concentrated amount of time possible. Also, when it came to researching the other paid courses out there, I was disappointed by how small some of the altcoin lists were. And one of the altcoin lists was even trying to ask you to hand over your funds for them to manage for you at the end, which is not my cup of tea. Look, I'm not a hardcore day trader. I'm a guy who has a career and I just don't have enough time to stare at the charts that much. I discovered what personally has made me the most money has been when I take an investor approach and pay attention to the Bitcoin halving cycle. Now, I said earlier that being a crypto investor, you need to keep a sharp eye on Bitcoin's behavior because it's the foundation of the entire ecosystem. And if we know how healthy Bitcoin is, we're able to adjust our risk level accordingly. Well, we've discovered some indicators that we believe have helped us predict the future Bitcoin bottom, and we're attempting to reverse engineer this number to help us predict how high we think Bitcoin's going to go. We have 4 different mathematical equations and several trading view indicators that we want to show you. Combine these with your entry into the right altcoins from our top altcoin list before Bitcoin goes too high, and you'll have a much better shot at catching the right moves early before the crowd. Look, there's thousands of cryptocurrencies listed. You don't need to waste your time getting lost. You don't need to listen to influencers that are holding other coins that are garbage, that are telling you to buy them so they can dump on you. In our team, we have a genius. We like to call this guy the Oracle. This guy points out to us the best crypto assets that are trending on the best chains, made by the best teams, and he researches their tokenomics. While most altcoin lists focus on a few coins influencers already hold, ours includes over 60, making it far too diverse to serve any hidden agenda. We created it to help guide people, not to mislead them. Let me show you an example. There's this asset called Aerodrome Finance. With help from our Oracle's research, we picked up 14,000 of these tokens at 3 cents, and they ended up hitting $2 after getting listed on Coinbase. This is the kind of thing our Oracle spots before the mainstream catches on. Obviously, not every call plays out like that, but when they hit hard. Then there's this piece of junk that runs on one of the more sketchier yet high-speed platforms that used to be called Phantom. I tossed in 67 bucks just for fun, and somehow it ran up to $2,300. Total moonshot, but it shows how unpredictable and explosive this market can be. Here's another one, total gamble. This one looked kind of sketchy, to be honest, but I bought 190,000 of these tokens for 450 bucks, and it turned into $2,800. I'm not recommending it, but it's another example of how insane this market can be when something gains traction. I mean, it's ridiculous. This market moves fast, sometimes in ways that don't even make sense. But if you're in early, it can be wild and kind of fun. However, this is where investing starts to spill over into gambling. And this only happened because of this $9,000 portfolio, I only risked 67 bucks, which wasn't even 1%. You see, if you want to participate in the world's biggest game of poker, it doesn't have to be 100% gambling. You can actually take an educated, calculated risk. However, you need to get into these positions early. You need to have an idea of how long you're supposed to be in them for. And if you're waiting on headlines to tell you when the market's hot, it's already too late. The smart money is always early. It's your money, it's your time, it should be taken seriously. You need to have some tools, some security, have a strategy, and learn how to move your assets from one place to another. You don't want to be like these retail investors that get into the market late and they never learn how to move their assets off Coinbase. Bitcoin and Ethereum still move, but for those looking beyond the mainstream, there are altcoins with far more aggressive price action. If you're simply an investor and you want to make much more, knowing about these altcoins early can give you a huge edge, but only if you understand how to approach them with the right strategy. You can't be like the retail investors that first double their money on Bitcoin and then eventually learn about the potential they could have made with the altcoins. You don't have time to wait another 4 years for the next Bitcoin bull run to apply these lessons learned. There's going to be a small window coming up here pretty soon where everyone thinks they're a public banker because this technology has rapidly improved in efficiency, and I need to show you how. This is one video course that's just not clickbait. It's 7 years of research compressed into 70 short, easy to follow videos that you can quickly get through in a short amount of time, but we just can't cram any more into this pitch video. This immersive training has been priced so affordable, it makes it so you can take a fraction of your money and upgrade your entire portfolio. I mean, what's the point of us charging you a huge amount of money for an investing course if by the time you buy it, you don't have any money left to build a portfolio? This discounted version is going to end though. In order to protect the integrity of the course, we will eventually have to raise the price for latecomers to make sure that what we're teaching is reserved only for those who are serious and willing to invest to learn it. Our goal is to train 20,000 students to have a strong launch pad into their cryptocurrency journey and help the average person make some decent money in 2025. So if you're serious about starting this next chapter in your life, we're excited and ready to help you achieve your goals. Click on the link below now and enroll today.